Okay, I have hit the button to go live. It says that we are live. I'm going to trust it and believe that we are live. Hello, everybody. My name is Carrow Brown. I am an urban fantasy author. I'm also the executive assistant over at the LaterPress, and you are in time for us to do some work today, or whatever productivity thing that you wish to do for a little while. We'll be doing 20-minute productivity sprints, and I keep saying productivity, not writing sprints, because sometimes people come here to do chores while the rest of us write. So whatever you want to do with those 20 minutes, they're yours to do forthwith. If you'd like to share what you're working on, you can do that, and we'll cheer you on and all that good stuff. So I'm going to be working on finishing out the entire outline of book 2 of my contract series that I'm on right now. I was able to do the big overarching stuff that needed to get done. So all I need to do is kind of like break stuff down by scenes. And I'm going to try and just make it one sentence synopsis real quick. And then I can like go back and like flesh it out as I need to. But it's just one of those things where like, I just want to go in here and like get it done. So let me, I want to make sure I got everything I need to succeed real quick, because there's nothing like messing up halfway through. Okay, so I've got my document, I've got my timer, I've got you guys, that's really important. I don't have any water, which is my fault. I'll just have some after we get done. But I'll go ahead and say hello to a few folks that are in the chat real quick. So Misty Kate is here. Hello, Misty Kate. Here to get some story progress. And notice I say story progress instead of writing. Are you working on your outline, or like what's your task today, Misty Kate? Mr. Brown is here. Hello, Mr. Brown. Cavet ties, if I'm saying that right. If you guys don't know, I'm really bad with like pronouncing shit. Standing table while I listen to. I also or sanding a table. Okay, I can read and I can write. I promise. And you will write later. That's fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us today. I really do appreciate it. Oh, let's see. Devil's Air is here. Non-binary muscle mommy. Yep, that's me. Can't really see it very well on this camera. I've been working on the guns, guys. I got that Yara cosplay that I said I need to do. Let's see. I love your Rowlets in the back. That's my favorite. Those are my favorite Pokemon. Like the moment, like the whole reason I bought like that particular game when it came out was because Rowlets were in there. And anytime there's a Rowlet in something, I'm going to go and play it. So that is my particular brand. And it has to do, I really like its element, its evolution, and like all the other stuff that you can do. And then there's the variants, like there's the one where it looks like a wandering samurai. It's so cool. Okay, I'm done being a nerd. Stacy's here. Hello, Stacy. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's see. Dr. Dark Ace is here. Hello, Carol, the muscle mother. Thank you. Devil's Air says, working on world building later this week, working on a Dwarven book, post this week, busy week of today. Yeah, I believe it. Mr. Kate says, I need to wrangle my scenes and work on a timeline. So that's kind of what I do. I don't know how you're doing it, Mr. Kate. I usually use some kind of like spreadsheet or an Excel sheet, workbook kind of thing. So I find that really is useful. I have a video about it if anybody's interested about how to do that. It's like somewhere in the playlist of my channel if you guys want to take a look at that. Kane is here, starting another chapter in the morgue. Oh, yes, we love morgue scenes. I love morgue scenes. Okay, like that's my thing. Especially when like you get into like the smells of like human decay. If it is like a human morgue, like that's always my favorite because people get really weirded out by it and they can't explain why. There's a book and it's called Stiff, A Study of Cadavers. And it was a research book that was done by a journalist who was kind of going into what happens to the donated cadavers once, they become donated, right? And she went to one school of criminal investigation, and they had like a field where they would lay the cadavers at, and nobody wanted to park by it. And the only justification that they could give was like, there's something in the air that smells wrong to me. And I was, oh man, it's just the stuff that I read, right? Okay, anyway, moving on. My favorite Pokemon is Torchic. Yeah, Torchic is okay. Let's see. Sir Booksage says, continuing on a story I'm writing to flesh out some of the inner workings of Merchant Kingdom. Oh, that's so cool, man. They're going to have so much like infighting over like who's going to be like the merchant to rule them all. Anything that involves money is going to have like so much stuff. Oh, there's water. Thank you, sir. Whereas Indy, Andrew, and Spoiler Sisters? Well, that was yesterday. Thank you so much for asking. Indy, Andrew is off doing whatever it is that he does on Sunday, and the sisters are doing whatever it is that they do on Sunday as well. Let's see. Stacy says, my timeline, I literally printed out a calendar of 2026 so I could mark out the dates as I progress through my story. You know, that's a way to do it. I respect it. Let's see. Monday says, I'm trying to practice writing more of my character's inner monologue versus just how they're doing, what they're physically doing and saying. That took me a hot minute to figure out as well, if it makes you feel any better. My first book, I didn't want to dwell too much in that because I always felt like the inner monologue like created a break in the pacing of the story. But when you get used to working with it, you can make it add to like the tension of what's going on without actually breaking the scene. So you got it, though. I believe in you. Mike has bad knees. Strangely, cadavers don't bother me as long as they've been embalmed and don't smell. So like in the museum. Let's see, or at least other people find it strange. Nah, I don't find it strange. I don't find it strange. All right, we have been here for a glorious 5 and some odd minutes. So let's go ahead and we will start our first sprint. So again, this is 20 minutes for you to do with as you see fit. And at the end, we will reconvene and share our progress, cheer each other on. Unlike most times when I start these, I'm going to go ahead and post the questions. So for those of you who may not be 100% aware, my job is about to launch another comic, another graphic novel. We're going to be launching it on the 11th. It's for Yaira, and I already know I'm going to be super busy. So I thought today's topic could be about burnout. And maybe you guys could share me like some tips and tips and tricks on how to not get burned out within like the next 3 weeks. So my first question, if you're willing to share, again, not required. If these are personal, please don't feel like you have to give us anything here. But it has to do with what burnout looks and feels like. So to you, what does burnout feel like? So, or how does it manifest for you? I know for me, it suddenly turns into like, I want to start doing other projects that aren't related to anything that I need to get done because I feel like a sense of accomplishment and that dopamine fix like helps me. But then all the stuff I should be working on, I'm neglecting. So it's like an avoidance tactic at that point. Let me go ahead and make sure that I also have the correct. There we go. Okay, I got the second banner up. Cool. So again, if you want to share, go for it. If you don't want to share, by no means, you don't feel pressured. So we'll start this first sprint in 3, 2, 1, and I'll talk to you guys in 20. All right, that was time. Feel free to share what you did, how you did, and all that goodness. I outlined scenes. I wasn't counting them. I've been kind of like jumping back and forth on this document, but I originally only had 8 scenes that were here, and now I have more. So my goal by the end of the stream is to have all 50 scenes with like 1 sentence in there. So that's all I want. That's all I want. While you guys are sharing your progress, I'm going to go ahead and read some of the answers to this question if you chose to answer it. And again, if you didn't, that's fine. No pressure, no pressure. Oh, we had some new people join us. Thank you guys so much for coming and being here with us. Barrett is here. I did watch that podcast with, or not watch, listen to that podcast with you and your mother. And I thought that was kind of fun. Let's see. So when I'm really burnt out, I slip into addictive tendencies or just shut down in terms of being able to do anything productive. Okay. Devil's Air says burnout is like a school exam to me, never-ending agony with stress and no sleeps. Also self-talk before bed, mostly not positive, and even more extreme headaches than normal. I know myself very well. Oh no. Stacy says, what I'm doing right now instead of the 3 things I could do for myself, I play games on my phone and I color. Last week I watched Rust Trial because I have no motivation. Oh no, Stacy. Also, I'm wondering if it's part of my issue is more chronic fatigue issue because I seem to always be tired and then I cannot sleep at night. And being really tired is often a symptom of burnout to me. Yeah, I mean, there's like the emotional and the physical exhaustion that's going on with that. It sounds like there's some avoidant tactics in here. Play games on phone and color, so that's the thing. And then doing what I'm doing right now instead of the 3 things I could do for my story. I'm trying to think. I know when I have, like, I'm pretty prone to getting depression in general. And I know that when I have depression, like, my energy level is, like, really low. So I kind of, like, set myself with, like, really easy to attain things like make the bed, take a shower, brush teeth. And I don't always like having it, like, that baseline level. But sometimes that's just what I need to do. And that's just self-care at that point. Let's see. Dr. Dark Ace, or Mr. Dark Ace. I swear I can read. I really wanted to make you a doctor. That's what I wanted to do. Burnout, in short, feels like walking through the Sahara Desert for 2 days without water. Naturally, when I feel burned out, I get uninspired and unmotivated to do anything except sleep, like Snorlax. Appreciate the callback there. Kane says, burnout feels like being so disoriented that even breathing becomes a chore. I get a headache in my eye and inside my head sounds like white noise. Oh, that's not good. Let's see. And then Mr. Dark Ace added, burnout, mentally be feeling like how Arnold was in Total Recall on Mars, screaming while my face is getting bigger and about to explode. That was a cool scene, though. Let's see. Ty says, burnout often happens when I put a lot of effort. When I put a lot of effort putting my work out there and no one checks it out. Hey, man. Speaking of that, I've got this stuff up here if you guys want to buy it. Yeah, no, I think that has to do with like getting support. When you don't feel support, it can lead you into like that whole "why do I do that" phase for sure. Let's see. I think I got everybody here. Okay, so. All right, so Dark Ace says, my dog got up when he heard the chirping sounds from your timer. Hey, exercise for the dog. I'm helping. No progress yet. Not started yet. Okay, well, maybe next time. Barrett says, knocked out a little over 2 paragraphs, and thanks to listening to the podcast, my mom really liked filming it. Definitely want to do more guest spots. You should do it. Do it up. Third book stage. Made a little progress on this scene I was stuck on for a while. Knocked out about 442 words and got past the spot I was blocked on. Hell yeah. We love it. Good. Like it a lot. All right, so we're going to do another 20-minute sprint here. It's on the horizon, so I'm going to put up our second question. And the second question are, what are methods you use to refill your well? So when you feel tired and exhausted, like they're talking about, what are tactics that you're like, I need to do this to make me feel better? I like hugs. I like hugs a lot. I will often frequently hug people that I'm very close with, and that will energize me a bit. I will play Stardew Valley, but that's also an avoidant behavior. I do that. Yep. But anyway, so we'll go ahead and start this 20-minute timer for another session, and then we will reconvene, share progress, and see how we're doing. Talk to you guys in 20. Okay, so that was time. Feel free to share what you did, how you did, and all that goodness. I want to say 90% of the scenes done. I don't like how few scenes there are in this right now, but I think what's going to happen is I'm going to end up pantsing some of the filler content. But so far I'm at 37 scenes, which I mean, that's not too bad for what I'm trying to do. And at least I have like a direction of where I'm going, so that's always important. All right, so let's see if anybody decided to answer question 2, where you guys share your progress with me. Let's see. Oh, Ty's also wanted to let us know that got a layer of sanding done and is oiling up. Nice, nice. All right, so Barrett says, I focus on living a healthy lifestyle, though I feel the most amount of burnout towards the end of the day, so I usually just sleep and call it a day so I can make the next day more productive. That's fair. I've had those moments. Let's see. To refill her well, Stacy says, I try switching up locations or how I write. I also try taking a day to either watch a movie or work on genealogy since I write family history as well as one stone, two birds sometimes. Mr. Toxicity, thank you so much for joining me today, by the way. I look at art on Instagram and usually get my creative energy flowing. There'd be some creative people out there for sure. Let's see. Mr. Dark Ace says, make some descriptions of my characters. Oh, made. Oh, this is a progress. Sorry, my bad. Made some descriptions of my characters and took some inspiration from detective movies from the 40s and 50s as well. Nice. Let's see. I look at Art and Laura's indie video game book as well as go look at scripts from well-known franchise movies. I study to learn how to write and analyze scripts of film. I did that with Mad Max. I thought that was actually that's a really good approach. Casey is here. Hello, Casey. Working on my weekly planning. Figured I'd jump in and co-work. You are always welcome to come in and co-work whenever you want to. You just show up. I got part of my week planning done, but it's not completely finished. As soon as I get done working with you guys, I'm going to go and finish hashing that out because I really, I don't want to have to think about what I need to do. I just want to do it next week. Stacy, I started dinner and I switched to genealogy. Barrett says, another paragraph and I worked on my outline doc a bit. Nice, nice. We like it. King shared, I consume content by playing games and watching crime drama shows. Oh yeah, we like that. Noir is cool stuff from the 40s. Yeah, no, that was some good stuff there. My go-to to refill my well is to pick up any token book and read it a bit. Rejuvenates me every time. I'm like that with Jim Butcher's first book, Stormfront. There's something about whenever I read that makes me be like, I have to go right now. Like I don't know if it's the story itself or the way it's delivered or what, but like I'm always like, oh, I just feel like so like, oh, I gotta go right now. Let's see. Mr. O'Reilly says Tolkien truly was a legendary author. I put the Lord of the Rings soundtrack on whenever I want to try and write. Always gets the juices flowing. Those were probably some of the best movies that came out, and I'm not really big on I call it page to screen adaptations, but novel adaptations to movies are always really tricky for me because I'm just picky, right? Like if you had a book and it was all laid out and then you went to go put it on a screen and then producers get involved and directors get involved, actors get involved and changes start happening, then it doesn't become like the same story. In some situations, I'm always like, oh, I don't want to see that. I just want to see the story that I read, so to speak. But speaking of good adaptations, so far I'm liking the Dune one. I watched part 2 yesterday, and the one thing I like about it is how it's kind of delving into the things that the author skimmed over in the book. I was having that conversation with my spouse yesterday, and I think that they're doing that really well. Oh, I got one more answer. Casey says, lately I've been refilling my well by playing Skyrim with my kiddo. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. All right, so we have another 20-minute sprint coming up. So I'm going to take down this question and I'm going to put up another one. So this question is, identify the stressor that leads to your burnout. So what is the thing that usually happens when you know that, that starts the burnout train, right? Sometimes people know what it is, sometimes they don't. I'm just curious if you know what yours is. I'll share mine probably when we come back because I don't think I can do it in 5 seconds. But these are your 20 minutes to do with as you see fit. And once we end this timer, we'll come back, share progress, share answers, and do it again. So I will talk to you guys in 20. Okay, that is time. Feel free to share what you did, how you did, and all that goodness. I looked over my outline for the second book and decided that this was as good as it was going to get for right now. So I went back to the series Bible to flesh out some more characters that I had not put in there from these two books. So that's what I'm doing now. Welcome back to you. Sorry about that. I also grabbed a chair because my back was starting to hurt and I wanted to sit. So now I'm sitting. Quite comfy. All right, let's take a look at some of these answers while you guys are sharing your progress. So my question was, identify the stressor that leads to your burnout. Let's see. Casey says, overcommitment for the time I have available. I'm a recovering overcommitter, and it's a constant struggle not to take on more than I can comfortably handle. I strangely relate to that. But I think the reason I do it is I like to overcommit because I feel like I can at least get stuff done if I like overload myself versus like going at a slower pace. Is that the correct way to do it? Absolutely not. Do not be like me. Don't do it. No. All right. Barrett says, my stressors involve dealing with other people since I am an antisocial loner. You're cool though. As in the ones that are most likely to cause burnout for me. Okay, I get you. Stacy says, adulting tasks like endless laundry and cooking. I have laundry to do after this. Thank you for reminding me, Stacy. Kids focusing on one thing for an extended period of time. I mean, that adult quest that you do, that's pretty committed. I always applaud parents who are able to take care of their kids and still take care of themselves. I know it's a one or nothing thing. Did I miss anybody? Okay, so and I've got one progress check here, which is just a few sentences. Hey, you know what? Those sentences count. See, Mr. O'Reilly says, a big stressor for me and my biggest roadblock is definitely perfectionism. I've been in a big slump lately because of it, but a rough draft is a rough draft. It is true. In fact, I'm going to share you a secret that I do with my drafts, which is, and it drives a lot of people crazy, but I type with my eyes closed, or I won't look at the screen, because what will happen is if I start looking at words and start seeing like something that needs to get adjusted, I literally stop what I was doing and I've lost the groove of the sentence I was writing. So yeah, are there typos and things that have to get fixed afterwards? Yes, in fact, there's a lot, but it's the autocorrect is pretty good at helping me fix everything that's on there, and then whatever it doesn't catch, I catch it when I do the read along, so that's pretty good. I don't know if anybody wants to be wild and try that. I mentioned that to one person. They said I like to live on the wild side. Casey says, I also have laundry to do. So much laundry, it never stops. Look at different themes and motifs for a book. I came up with one that was a noir detective movie, and the characters appeal and looks like breakfast foods. Main character is a detective waffle. I can just imagine it like it's a waffle and like a thing of syrup comes in. And it's like I knew she was going to be sticky when she walked through the door, that kind of thing. Let's see. Stacy says, I have 3 loads of laundry that I'm putting off for yet another day. Probably won't get to it until tomorrow. I have to do it today because my husband and I need clothes in this house in order to work. So as soon as my habit that I'm trying to do is as soon as I get done streaming on Sunday, I go and I put the laundry away so that way I can just like shut my brain off. Like it's the one last adulting task that I have to do. Barrett says that they do laundry on Fridays. So my weekend doesn't have to have a chore on the docket. I do all my meal prep on weekends. So yeah, like I was thinking about going and doing grocery shopping yesterday because I don't grocery shop and meal prep on the same day because that's just like too much for me. But the reason I didn't do it this week is because we have a Factor subscription right now, and so we have like 2 more days of food, and I didn't want to go and buy stuff if I've already got food in here. It's one of those things where it's like I go hungry I go to the grocery store when I've got nothing else in the pantry or the fridge at that point because I've got enough to keep me going for a while. But hey, look at that. It's time for our final sprint, guys. We did it. Woo! So the final question of today is, tell me about you. How are you doing? We spent all this time talking about burnout. Feel free to share how you are hanging in there today if you want to. No pressure, as always. And we will check those answers at the end of this 20 minutes, which are about to start now. And I will see you then. Okay, friends, that is time, and we are going to wrap up here in a minute. I worked on the series Bible a little bit and fleshed out some character stuff that I really need to be better about tracking. I've kind of just done this thing where I made this entire thing and then I forgot about it. So I think on my to-do list for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be like going in here and bit by bit making sure that I add in all this stuff for folks who need it. All right, so let me take these banners down. So how did you do? What did you do? Tell me about you, and then I will see how you guys are doing today. Pet the dogs and set you free. You don't need to stay that long with me. May I turn that off too? Oh, as you can tell, I am a little tired right now, but I've also done some talking, and I've learned that if I do a fair bit of talking in the stream, I end up yawning quite a good deal. So, all right. All right, so Stacy says, I'm tired. I tossed and turned for the most of the night and then had a nightmare. Oh, no. And I lost my special needs kiddo getting on a ride at an amusement park and never gone to one. Oh, don't lose your kids. Don't do it. I wonder if it has to do with the chaos of an amusement park. Barrett says, I'm doing well. Got a new car this month going to get a new car this month or April. Long story on how that happened, but I'm finally getting the cash from my car being totaled. Oh my goodness, that sounds stressful AF. Misty Kate says, sorry, I've been absent from the keyboard this stream. Have you on while I read? Hey, you know what? Whatever you gotta do, Misty Kate, whatever you gotta do. Let's see. Not that I want to read that loud, Barrett, but I'm trying to find answers to a question. Right now, I'm making dinner with pot roast in the slow cooker with rice. Now I'm hungry. With rice in the rice cooker. Writing and sort of retooling characters and world building. Then gonna play Lies of P on PS5. Oh, look at you. We're talking about games. Casey says, I upload hopefully the last tax doc needed for my firm to do this year's taxes. I wish you luck. I did mine and I owe, and I'm not super thrilled about it, but there's not much I can do about it. Let's see, I'm almost done with this section thanks to these sprints. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. Ty says, did some staining. Also good. Well done. Let's see. Monday O'Reilly, I got nearly 1,000 words down. It's the most I've written in one go in a long time. It feels nice to be writing again. Oh, I love hearing that. Yay! I'm glad for you. Let's see, Casey says, I'm actually doing pretty well. I had a good day at church. Had fun last night on my live stream launch for my friend's book and excited for my own launch coming up. That's right. You got a book coming out. And I saw you all talking about your friend's book. That's so nice of you guys to do. Man, it's like creatives, like we're all uplifting each other. We would not be sitting here struggling the way that we were. Like, I mean, it's just a fact. It really is. And you don't have to take my word for it. The great Blaine Pardoe is the one that shared that great grain of wisdom with me on one of my interviews here. Sir Book Sage, this was a good writing session for me. Knocked out 2,123 words and will be continue writing until it's time to make dinner. Oh, fantastic. I am so glad to hear that. Look at you guys being all productive and shit. All right, so if you are new here, first off, thank you for spending your precious time with me. You are now here for the really important part of what happens on the stream, which is the dog pets. How this works is if you have liked the stream, I will check and see how many likes there are, and that's how many pets the dogs are going to get. That's how it works. So far I see 15. That's probably the lowest it's been for a while. That's fine with me, because I always end up being here for a while. All right, who wants pets? All right, she got here first. Why'd you stretch? Hey, buddy. All right, we're going to do Prissy Kissy first. I know, Prissy Kissy first. Prissy Kissy first, because you're prissy. Oh, hello, baby girl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See why she got a name. 9. No, you can't go yet. Prissy Kissy, you gotta stay. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's all you get. You're cut off. Ranger, your turn. Come here, Ranger boy. You get 15 too. Oh,
Thank you. No, you gotta. No, it's pet, not nuzzles. You're very bad at this.
He just wants to nuzzle. That's all he wants to do. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 1 snap. Oh, you're so good. You're a good boy. He is a good boy. He is my favorite boy. He's the only boy dog I've had. Oh no, I had Bones for a while, didn't I? And I had Mac. He's a good boy. Yeah, he is getting a little up there in years. He's 10. But don't tell my husband that. My husband still thinks he's 8. All right, well, that's going to wrap us up for the day. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me for these last 2 hours. I really do appreciate it. I will be here next Sunday to do it again. If you would like to hang out and get more words in, I would be very honored if you did. And I guess that will be it for today. I think I'm going to game next Saturday as well, like I did last time. I don't know what the game is. I think I'll do some kind of first-person shooter because apparently you guys want to watch me shoot stuff, so I guess I'll do that. I got books down below if you guys are interested in anything that I have written, and I've got a blog, I've got a rim. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do that. That's on my to-do list. I have it's like a Patreon-like thing, but doesn't have cheese pizza on the platform, which is very important for me. So if you guys are looking to support me in a small way, that would be really appreciative. It starts at $3, goes up to $7. All pennies matter. Basically, any money that I get from that platform goes straight to my artists. So that's how I'm trying to subsidize that cost. But that will be me for the day. And let's see what else I was going to say. Nope, I got nothing. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I'll talk to you guys next week. Have a wonderful week. Pray for me in this launch that's coming out. I'm going to need it. Hitting confirming. I'm going to wave now.